everyone, Blaze here, welcome back to another anime haul video. Today we're going to be concentrating on some Discotek DVDs that I've picked up over the last, ages. Goddamn. I also have a Blu-ray. I have a lot of Discotek Blu-rays to talk about, but I figured I would just talk about this Blu-ray now, because I have a thing that's related to it that's on DVD as well. So yeah, so we'll start off with the Blu-ray. So I've picked up Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac, the classic movie collection on Blu-ray. So Discotek, for the longest time, said that they weren't ever going to do any more Saint Seiya on Blu-ray. It just wasn't a good enough seller. Obviously, they already had the license to this via the DVDs that they put out. They put them out 2 movie packs. Yeah, and these are side stories to the original TV series. I've still not watched these. I've seen the original TV series all the way through. I plan to eventually just go and watch a bunch more Saint Seiya stuff because I really do like it, at least when it's good. I felt like the second half of the original series is kind of lacking. There's a giant filler arc, and then there's basically an arc that precedes that, follows that basically is exactly the same as the filler arc, because the people making the freaking anime based their filler arc on the thing that was going to be next in terms of the actual adaptation, which is madness. So it's a very similar story to what you just had. It's crazy. Anyway, whatever. So the second half of the series not so great. The first half, the Sanctuary arc and all that, really, really good. I do like it, and I really want to get into Saint Seiya. There's tons of it. I really enjoy it. I need to watch these movies. I still have these DVDs. Never got around to them, so that was a foolish purchase in many ways, I suppose. Because now we have the Blu-rays. These are DNR'd as they were in Japan, I believe. There's very little grain on these, but these are in proper HD, unlike the TV series. The TV series in Japan was unfortunately upscaled on Blu-ray, so all those Blu-rays you've seen maybe in France and possibly Brazil, I would imagine, or Argentina or something, Latin America, a lot of those Blu-rays are all upscales based on the original Japanese Blu-ray upscale, I imagine. So yeah, but the movies were done in HD. Again, I do believe these are DNR though, but yeah, these are complete collection, all 4 movies on one Blu-ray. I mean, they are only 50-minute movies, so yeah, the whole thing's on one Blu-ray. They're not more than an hour long, but I think they're like 50 to 45 minutes each. I'm pretty sure in Japan they were probably like double features maybe with other films from other Shonen Jump titles at the time. That tend to be the way that you would do it back in the day, I believe. Anyway, whatever. This is such a freaking good deal. I hope a lot of people bought this. It did do pretty well, and this is basically Discotek throwing out their final, you know, like, if you want Discotek to put out more Saint Seiya, go out and buy this release. That was basically what they said. Like, this is really its last chance from them. And yeah, I have some moderate hope for the Saint Seiya franchise going forward. This seemed to sell reasonably well, although most Discotek stuff seems to do really well in terms of pre-orders and right stuff in their charting system on their shop. Discotek pre-orders tend to be in the top 10 every single time they go up. So, and yeah, this was one of those that was peaking in the top 10 at some point. So that's pretty good. Probably better than the DVDs did back in the day, for sure. I mean, Discotek are a much bigger company than they were when they put out the movies originally. And I hope that Saint Seiya has just sort of slowly grown a bit of fandom in the West, in terms of English-speaking territories. A little bit. There's been a lot of PS3, like PlayStation, or video games, if you will. There's obviously the Netflix series, which is not so good apparently. But obviously, of course, you can also you can also watch the entire original series on Netflix now with a proper dub. When I watched it, I watched the ADV dub up to episode 60, and I watched the remaining 11 episodes of the Sanctuary arc on Hulu, subtitled, because they were available on there back in the day. It's a long time ago now. And then I watched like the remaining, whatever it was, the 40 episodes, or probably more actually. Yeah, probably more like 54 episodes, I think it was, somewhere around there. For the series, with really bad subtitles. Like, they were basically, yeah, like translated from French, I believe, and yeah, they were like French, translated from the French into English, and they weren't very good, unfortunately. So But now you can watch the whole series dubbed and with proper subtitles on Netflix, so I highly recommend doing that. And maybe, I mean, apparently that dub was funded by Toei, but was done by Sentai Filmworks, I understand. At least their voice acting studio, whatever, you know, whatever. The studio Sentai Filmworks uses for their dubs. Apparently did the dub for Saint Seiya. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Sentai, especially with a lot of Netflix titles they're putting out like a box set, Gatchaman style for Saint Seiya, the original series. That seems like something that they would do, so I'm kind of hoping that might happen. We might finally get the complete series on out in English, which would be really cool. So anyway, the thing that ties into Saint Seiya the movie on Blu-ray is of course the DVD release. This actually is in HD and dubbed on Netflix now as well, but yeah, this was a subtitle DVD release for both OVA collections for Saint Seiya the Lost Canvas. This is a prequel to basically everything Saint Seiya. Like, this is the earliest in the timeline, I'm pretty sure, and tells I don't actually really know the story at all because I've still not seen it. Yeah, I felt guilty for never picking this up before. I'm glad I picked it up now. Obviously it's been dubbed and available on Netflix in high definition. If I was to watch it, I would probably watch that version, which does make this somewhat redundant, but I always felt guilty for not having picked this up, supporting Saint Seiya. So yeah, I picked up Saint Seiya the Lost Canvas. Like I said, I don't know too much about it other than the fact that I think this is a prequel to the original series, and that's what the other review. I'm pretty darn sure. It's been a long time since I've looked up my Saint Seiya timelines and stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping to get back into the franchise. It's what I've been knocking off like a bunch of longer anime this year. Like I watched all the Rurouni Kenshin, all the Slam Dunk, all of Yu Yu Hakusho. I watched a bunch of like Macross, like everything up to Macross Zero I've seen now. So the only stuff I haven't seen is like Frontier and Delta. Like I watched, yeah, just a ton of stuff basically. And another one I'd like to get to sooner rather than later is Saint Seiya, and just get to all of that stuff, because like pretty much the whole franchise, or in fact, yeah, the whole franchise is either available officially by DVDs or on Netflix at the moment, or you can there are fan subs for everything else. So I'd really like to get to the rest of the franchise. That'd be really cool. So yeah, that's Saint Seiya. We talked about that for 8 minutes. That's kind of crazy. Now we got some really old stuff. I was never really sure about picking this one out. This is the sort of stuff I don't overly enjoy having in my collection. It's kind of a weird thing actually, because obviously I buy like a bunch of OVAs all the time. But this sort of stuff, I mean, I enjoy watching this, but I don't know, it's not something I feel like I'd watch more than once really, unless something on here is really good. But I picked up, I think this is a Studio 4C, yeah, Studio 4C and Avex Entertainment, Amazing Nuts. So this is one of those kind of like short music video type compilation collections. So yeah, we've got the Global Astroliner, Glass Eye, Kung Fu Love, and Joe and Marilyn. This runs at about 38 minutes, so it's pretty short. Yeah, and I think it does say Japanese language. I guess there would be some Japanese, but I'm pretty sure they're mostly musical. Yeah, as it says, Studio 4C and Avex Entertainment have teamed up to bring you a musical roller coaster ride which will pop out of your TV and speakers. I mean, it's not like, I enjoy watching this sort of stuff occasionally, but I don't tend to watch it very much at all anymore. And in fact, in terms of like things like my anime list and Anime Planet, I don't even tend to, I mean, this is kind of different because it's a collection, but in terms of like 1 or 2 minute things, I don't tend to track those anymore, because I just feel like they kind of, I don't know, I just feel like they just take up space. Like it's kind of cheating in a way. Like if I've watched like 200 music videos that are only like 1 or 3 minutes long each, You know, it's I don't know. There's a part of me just feels like I'm kind of cheating, like, because that's like 100 freaking. It's not very many, basically. Is my point. Like 3 minute, 103 minute blimmin' music videos is the same length as like a 13 episode TV series. So I could have like 100 things on my anime list, you know, taking so from 1600 to 1700, or if I watch one TV series, it will be 1600 to 1601, which I just, yeah, that's why I don't track it. I just kind of feel like it's cheating, and it doesn't, not that the number really matters, but you know what I mean. It's just like, I'm never going to watch this again. How the hell do you even score a 3 minute music video? I don't really know why I'm talking about all of this, because this is completely different, because this is actually a collection, and I'm pretty sure on my anime list and Anime Planet, these wouldn't be separated. You just have Amazing Nuts and episode count, which is more. I'm okay with that. I'll track that in that case. Anyway, I don't know. I wasn't really too sure I was going to buy this. It was kind of expensive for what it was brand new. It's like 12 quid or something it cost me, and yeah, it's only 40 minutes long, and it's like a thing I'll probably watch once. But anyway, I picked up Amazing Nuts, an old Discotek DVD. It's another one I wasn't too sure about, but I basically asked myself the dreaded question. It's basically the FOMO question, where it's like, if it suddenly went out of print and when I couldn't get it anymore, would I feel sad that I'd missed the opportunity? It's a stupid question to ask, because for 95% of people who collect stuff, especially to the degree that I do, the answer will always be yes, I'll be disappointed I missed it, don't be stupid. So I picked up Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid. This is the 1970s Toei TV special or film, I think. Has both the dub, the classic dub, and the Japanese, obviously. I think this is the first time it's been available in Japanese. Yeah, released for the first time on DVD in the US. Okay, includes the original Japanese. Okay, so maybe it did come out on VHS in Japanese as well. Seems unlikely, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, in a tale more faithful to the original Hans Christian Andersen story, The Little Mermaid is a fairy tale at once familiar but also darkly different. So I wonder how much closer. This is obviously not the Disney version, is it? So I wonder how much closer. I don't know. I haven't ever read the original story, but I do know the original ending to The Little Mermaid is completely different and way darker than obviously the Disney version. So yeah, I doubt this is like as dark as the actual original story, but it does look a little bit more brutal, as is the way in Japan. They don't tend to shy away from these things. So yeah, it's another older Discotek DVD release I decided to pick up. Yeah, Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, Toei film. It's only just over an hour, 108 minutes. It's not very long. 108, sorry, an hour and 8 minutes, 68 minutes is what I meant. Okay, here's a series for that, oh god, who put this out? I think Genian originally put this out, pretty sure. And yeah, I think they only did volume releases. Discotek eventually came along and rescued the series. I think it is TMS Entertainment, yeah. So they rescued the series and put it out on DVD. Supernatural series. I used to have this in my Samurai and Ninja section for ages, and one day I was just staring at it. I'm like, why is that there? like it has samurai stuff in it, but it's so not a samurai series. So yeah, we got Requiem from the Darkness. Pretty freaking awesome slipcover here with like very comic book looking art, at least on the main guy here with the black shading and stuff. So yeah, this is a supernatural horror series. I don't know a lot about it, but it looks kind of cool from the trailers and stuff so that I saw back in the day. So another older Discotek DVD to pick up on 2 discs, a nice space saver. As I mentioned, like the Genian release, I'm pretty sure it was Genian, never got a compact release. This is the only way to get, you know, a single DVD case version, so that's cool. Next up, we got a sci-fi series from like the year 2000. I believe it's 2000. This is a series that I think aired on Toonami back in the day in America. I know it has like a little cult following of some kind, like probably based on a TV run. It's done by Studio Xebec or Xebec, Xebec, who have done like a bunch of like mecha type giant robot sci-fi shows that I kind of enjoy, even though they're like on the edge of like not being very good, but they're just interesting enough and just have that certain like early standard definition digital style that I really like. So yeah, I kind of like the studio, even though I don't think any of their anime are like absolutely, you know, groundbreakingly amazing or anything. I just think they're all kind of good and interesting. Some of them aren't very good, but some of them are, and one of them I hope to also be good is a Pilot Candidate. I think this has a different name as well. I can't remember if this is the name that was primarily used on Toonami back in the day or not. But anyway, yeah. So the Pilot Candidate. This has got all. Doesn't this have like an OVA? Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I never noticed that before. Okay, so there is an OVA, but it's only available in Japanese because they never dubbed it back in the day. So you got the complete 12 TV episodes in English and Japanese, and then the 13th episode in Japanese with English subtitles. So yeah, Pilot Candidate. Pretty cool series. I'm sure some of you watching have seen this. Apologies for all the reflections. Sort of a weird case. We've got like a weird frosted clear swinging tray here. It's kind of weird. And then yeah. So yeah, Pilot Candidate on 2 discs. Looking forward to watching it as always. Okay, now we have a 90s fantasy series previously put out by Media Blasters across like 6 volumes, and then like one of those giant like fat DVD cases that I hate. Yeah, Discotek eventually came along, did a compact DVD release. I believe this might be a TMS series as well, maybe? Oh no, TV Tokyo Media Net. So yeah, maybe not TMS this one, but anyway. This is why I was glad Discotek picked up, because I've always been interested in this series. It's got actually a reasonably good ratings, I believe. At least on Anime Planet. I think this is like close to 4 stars, or you know, on average, out of 5 or something close to it, so that's pretty good. That is Gokudo. So yeah, this is a fantasy series from the 90s. Where is it written that heroes have to be heroic? Gokudo is the perfect adventurer, reckless, greedy and ambitious. His star qualities make him one imperfect crown prince and an even worse hero. Fuck, that's hard for me to say. With his flaming sword, a tomboy looking for excitement, and the prince of his rival kingdom, he sets off on a quest to uncover all the great treasures of the world. He'll succeed or make a total fool of himself trying. This complete collection contains all 26 episodes and includes the Japanese language with English subtitles and the English dub, which again I believe is done by Media Blasters. Don't know if it's an Ocean dub. Obviously Media Blasters used to use Ocean. Actually no, they didn't. That was a Viz Media thing. Forget what the hell I'm even talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about at all, ever. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, Gokudo, looking forward to watching this one. It's another one I just didn't get at the time, really meant to. Have eventually done so, and I'm happy about that. I don't know why there's so much freaking... Yeah, I don't know why that's reflecting so much, but it is, unfortunately. Love the disc art on this one. I don't know if this is from the original Media Blasters DVDs in terms of what they picked, but it looks really nice. Really, really good artwork. I really like the second disc, the green one. I think that looks really cool. So yeah, I just really love 90s fantasy series. It's when the genre was in its prime for fantasy, I feel like. And this is of the comedic nature, it looks a bit more like Slayers and stuff. Opening episode of this was pretty good. I hope to get to all of it eventually. Okay, another, should we save? No, we won't save this to last, we'll just keep going in the order they're in. Okay. This is, I hate this case. Cardcaptor Sakura from NIS America came in a case like this, and I really don't like these cases. They look really stupid, but as of right now, this is the only way to own this show complete, like with both the Japanese, or I don't really understand it, Toonami and the original production IG version. It's a show I think I'll really like. It's just one of those shows that just doesn't really get talked about as much anymore, and it kind of, I mean, it got shown on, well, it says here Toonami, and it had like it was kind of pushed as if it was more like an American cartoon in many ways. So it's just one of those things that kind of slips under the radar in terms of anime fandom some of the times. But it is actually an anime made by Production IG. That is Immortal Grand Prix, or IGPX. Now, I'm a huge Formula 1 fan. It's like one of my first loves in life. Like, first love was football, second love would be video games, third love would be cartoons. I suppose those are kind of the same, video games and cartoons around the same time. But yeah, and then basically I became a teenager and just got, or like about 11 or something, I got super into Formula 1. And then I eventually got into anime after all of that. But anyway, don't know why I'm even talking about that. But yeah, this is kind of like a weird mix of like mecha and futuristic Formula 1 racing sort of thing. Kind of like Cyber Formula to a lesser extent. It doesn't really have mecha in it, but anyway. So yeah, it comes in one of these horrible curved cases though. There's a lot of discs. 1, 2, they all look the same. So it's actually easier just to do it like this, but yeah. Is it only 10 discs? You know you can buy DVD cases that look like this, that hold 10 discs, that don't come in these stupid, so yeah, that's sort of disappointing they released it in a case like this. I guess these were just cheaper or something, but they look dumb on the shelf. Like, I just realized I just showed you the next thing I was about to talk about, but anyway, like, you know, it looks pretty stupid. Not too bad, it just looks a bit weird. It's not the end of the world, but if they were to ever do a standard definition Blu-ray re-release of this, with like on 2 discs maybe, like one with the one version and one with the other, or however they want to do it, I would be interested. So this is one I was kind of on the fence about buying, but I thought there's a chance they might not do that, and this might be the only version they ever do, so if I ever wanted it, I should get it. Actually, I just realised I didn't buy this one brand new. I got this off eBay super cheap, which kind of helped my decision. Now I suddenly remembered. Yeah, I got this off eBay UK. I think it was only like £10. It was like a steal. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so that was why I bought it. Oh, I wanted it anyway, but like, it made the decision easier, if you know what I mean. So anyway, whatever. That's Immortal Grand Prix. I don't really know too much about it other than mecha, sci-fi, racing, and it was on like Toonami back in the day. Okay, the one that I think I've just briefly spoiled for a moment. Cybersix, the complete collection. This is a 1999 digital superhero series. I've seen half of the first episode and I really like the dub for this. I mean, this only comes dubbed. I don't know if this ever came out in Japan or anything. It says like the series writers are a bunch of like English people, or like American people, whatever. But it was directed and character designed. So it was animated in Japan via TMS Entertainment. But for the most part, it's an American series, I believe, or Canadian or whatever. I only say that because there's like some names on here that sound more Canadian than American. I honestly don't know enough about it, in truth. But yeah, 13 episode TV series, superhero, slightly supernatural. Like I said, I really like the dub. I also really love the character designs in this. It's a really cool looking. Oh god, the glare is horrendous. It's a really bright day. I should have just pulled my blind down a little bit further, but we're almost done with this video, so we won't bother. So yeah, we've got this. They look like CDs to me. The way that they've done like the track listing on the CD, sort of. I don't know. Something about that just gives me CD vibes. It's weird. Anyway, yeah. I think this series is going to be really cool. I think I'm going to. Well, I think I will really like it. There's a potential for that. There's also potential it might just like fizzle out and I might not get as into it. But yeah, the first episode left, or the first half of the first episode left a really good impression. Like normally when I check something out like that, I do watch the full first episode, but because I wasn't ready to commit myself to watching this at the time, I was watching other things. I got halfway through the first episode and I was like, you know what, I'm already convinced I will enjoy this, I'm just going to leave it for now. And go back to it later. So yeah, Cybersix. I don't know if I've shown this one before. I feel like I might have done. I bought this a long time ago, but I've also not done regular pickup videos for a long time. There's stuff in my collection that I've probably bought like 3 years ago that I don't think I've shown on video yet. so yeah, I don't know if I've actually shown this series. This is a 1999 digital series. Say Zebek again show. As I said, I just really like the studio. They do some really cool stuff. None of it overly amazing, but some of it is really cool. And this is definitely one of the ones that's right up there in terms of being really cool. I used to own this series in a big. I think I had it on 6 DVDs, volumes, and then because I think Rock Guard ended up buying those off me, and I bought like the big fat stack pack thing or something from ADV, sold that with the intention of buying this version, and I took way too long, but I did eventually pick it up. I picked up Dygard, Terrestrial Defense Corps, the complete collection. So this is a 1999 giant robot series that reminds me a lot of Patlabor. It's pretty much the same idea to some degree. In this case, like this office work, like this office company, I can't remember what they do. Even gonna say, yeah. Okay, so basically the planet ends up getting invaded by like, these weird aliens. The alien designs, not a big fan of. They kind of look all spindly and weird, like they're not. Yeah, the alien designs kind of suck, and the aliens themselves are pretty generic. There's not really anything too interesting in them, I don't believe. But anyway, the giant robot became. I might as well just read it. 12 years ago, the Earth was attacked by giant invaders. To defend our planet, the Earth's greatest minds and corporations assembled to design a giant robot of incredible power. Unfortunately, as with most government projects, the contract went to the lowest bidder. This is weird. Fortunately, by the time the robot was ready, the mysterious invaders had already disappeared without a trace. Giant robot became first a curiosity and then a tourist attraction, but now the invaders are back, and the only thing in their way is Dygard and a young team of office workers who have been supplementing their regular income as part-time pilots and tour guides. Can these reluctant heroes halt their alien foes while simultaneously concealing the defects in their giant robot? Find out in this complete collection containing all 26 episodes, blah 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 blah. So yeah, it's a fun comedy series. It's a very similar dynamics between the characters to Patlabor and stuff. And yeah, I really like this show. I like shows with big casts. It's one of my favourite things in anime is when you've got a bunch of characters all with varying personalities, so you can always latch on to someone. So even if you don't like someone, there's always going to be a bunch more that you do like. And yeah, really fun series, really clever, great comedy, just great character interactions. It's a wonderful series, and it has, I can't remember the guy's name, I don't know if it's on the back here actually, see if we can find it. Music by Kohei Tanaka and Kenji Kawai as well. So isn't Kenji Kawai the guy that does all the like production IG, Ghost in the Shell and the original Patlabor stuff? I think. And I think Kohei Tanaka is the guy that does all the One Piece music. So yeah, this sounds exactly like One Piece in terms of the soundtrack. It's kind of crazy and weird to see it, but he actually did this series just before One Piece, because obviously One Piece started in 1999. I think like right at the end of 99, there was like only about 8 episodes that aired in the 90s for One Piece, and I think this came out in the summer of 99. It's obviously not going to say that on the back, but yeah. Anyway, really enjoyable series. I highly recommend this one if you like your giant robots, and especially if you like Patlabor. And even if you're not, and it's also got a really cool opening. If you're not going to watch it, I highly recommend, if you're a One Piece fan, listening to the soundtrack to Dai-Guard, because it is uncanny, because obviously it is actually the real guy who works on One Piece doing the soundtrack for that show, and it's kind of weird, given it's a giant robot show. But anyway, okay, another one that I can't remember if I've talked about already. I feel like I may have done, but I don't remember. Anyway, Dancouga Super Beast Machine God. This is one I've been meaning to pick up for ages, but I was always hoping they would put it out on Blu-ray. They did, but it was the DNR'd version. It came out on Blu-ray twice in Japan, once with all its grain intact in 2009 or something, And then about 5 or 6 years later in Japan, for some reason, they re-released it and just scrubbed out all the grain. Just scrubbed it all out, made it a smeary mess. Discotek come along, upgrade the show to Blu-ray. And well, we love Discotek, and they, like, a lot of the time they seem to put in all the research and all the effort, yada yada yada. Unfortunately, with this series, that wasn't done. They basically just went, like, asked for HD materials, and they got sent back the most recent HD materials, which was, of course, the DNR smeary mess version, and they didn't question it. So it was far too late in the production cycle when they were told basically by fans that, hey, you know, there's a version in HD that looks a lot nicer, and that version was fan subbed just to make it worse. So yeah, but anyway, yes, this is a 1985 or 6, 1985, done by Production Reed. Giant Robot series, which I'm looking forward to watching a lot. This is only the TV series, it doesn't contain any of the OVA stuff. I swear someone told me that the Blu-ray does have some of the OVA stuff. Like, there's like a couple of movies and OVAs that followed this, and yeah, I could have sworn they told me it did, but when I looked it up, it didn't seem like it did. So I don't really know. That stuff's also been fan subbed, so I can at least go and watch it at some point. But yeah, happy to have this on my shelf at last. It's sort of frustrating. I waited all that time to pick up the show on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray finally comes out, and I look at it, see what it is, and just go and buy the freaking DVD instead in the end. Which, yeah, that was disappointing, but happy to have it anyway at all. So yeah, Dancouga. I really like actually this artwork underneath. Looks freaking sick. And it's on 6 discs, I believe. And I kind of like the discs as well. Simple but effective. Just one of the main characters with a starry background. And on the last one, it has the robot. So yeah, that is my Discotek DVD haul for today. There's quite a lot, plus a Blu-ray at the beginning. For now, I'm Blaze. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.